Let us start, sir.
Yes, namaste and very warm welcome to all the special participants joining for this CeRIMed talk in this 7th of May on this warm evening in Bangalore. So we have very special guest, Mr. Nagaraja Rao, who will be talking on scientific alignment and practical solution to age-related ailments through yoga. So before we
We've just
start
started the
this talk,
session.
Before we start the talk, we'll have a few more things to talk about. So let's go through that while people are also joining. I'm happy to welcome all of you.
I'm the host.
And if your mic is not muted, I request all of you to mute your mic so that the presentation time people don't get distracted. Today, it's this talk on the CeRIMed platform. So I will tell a few words about CeRIMed. Then this is supported by Reach Healthcare. So we'll be playing a small video on Reach Healthcare after that. And later we'll be introducing the speaker. And that time we'll see how the talk about. So this talk by Mr. Nagaraja Rao is on CeRIMed platform. And what is CeRIMed? CeRIMed is a Center for Research in Integrated Medicine who started just about 2 years back. And we found he's one of the oldest speaker in the platform. I mean, we never seen the speaker coming at this age and also trying to share their experience in their journey. And he is 84 years young. So very warm welcome to Mr. Nagaraj Rao, and all our dignitaries and other participants will be delighted to hear from you on this. CeRIMed platform, as I mentioned, is a platform of open source of aligning our Eastern wisdom with the modern concept of science. So that's the integration we talk about. And I was surprised to see last month when WHO came to India and set up one center called GCTM, that's a Global Center for Traditional Medicine. Actually, Indian or global healthcare, 80% are taken care through traditional medicine. And people don't, modern medicine actually cannot trust that because there is very few scientific data, very few information available. And CeRIMed purpose is to start this journey of healthcare to promote traditional medicine and the other alternative practices, which encourages, supported by various kind of scientific evidence. And that's what the genesis of CeRIMed is. And it's a long journey, but I'm happy to see it's not only in India, globally, similar movement taking place. And this center happens to be inaugurated by our Prime Minister at Jamnagar last month. So I wish at some point of time CeRIMed will be able to collaborate with that kind of institutions to promote not only traditional medicine, but integrated concept of medicine, because India, reach not only on Ayurveda, but there's so many other way of people are treating, and it's a well-known practice, but it's not accepted. You cannot claim your insurance because this is not recognized. So the most common treatment is yoga. As everybody knows about yoga, is used in various ways, and various treatment therapy also available, but you can't claim insurance on it because it's not recognized. But we are very happy and fortunate to hear the experience of our very respected speaker today. We'll hear more about his achievement a little later. I'll talk about, introduce him later. But before we do that, I request my colleague, Mr. Naresh, to play a small video on Reach Healthcare, how you take care of healthcare remotely. Naresh, please, can you play the video? So you can reach, anyone can reach the Reach Healthcare to get a telemedicine support. It's a quite a integrated, interesting company. Once you use this facility, you don't have to leave your home to get your healthcare done, at least at the first level. Even today's paper talks about more than 50% of the specialists not available in the healthcare center. So, but we can organize to some level to reach healthcare. So that's a background of Reach Healthcare. Now, I am very happy to announce the who is our speaker today, and he's actually multifaceted um, person with a wide range of experience. And he did his studies from Mysore University way back in 1956, and he did a lot of other additional qualification other than Bachelor of Science as a research scholar in the Silk Institute. He did advanced studies and training in Japan and developed many projects and programs in the field of silk for the benefit of farmers. He worked as a consultant to the World Bank team in the marketing of silk in SAARC countries. Also worked as a chief of Indian Export Promotion Council in the IT sector in Bangalore. And finally, he retired long back as a managing director of Karnataka Silk Board, serving 32 years of service in the government. Interestingly, he's very active in other areas too, and he was a national tennis veteran champion in 2008. So that's a good accomplishment in, even in tennis. And more than that, he's having a 25 years of experience on yoga and overcome many ailments. I won't talk about what he has done because that's a part of his talk today, and what are the ways he experienced his benefit he'll cover in this. But more than the doing this, he's doing a human service by propagating by regularly conducting uh, online classes. Even within NIM I understand that he's started collaborating by promoting for the senior citizens especially. And in addition to that, he has compiled a book on those asanas which he practices, and he got the benefit. And that's a very interesting compilation. We'll talk about it a little later. And I'll request one of our respected member in this group, Swamiji, if he's available, tell few words about the book or in general the yoga's practice, what we experience. Over to Swamiji, please, for a few words. Is he able to speak? Yes, Swamiji, please.
Namaste, a warm welcome to all the participants who have joined this wonderful session. As we keep on telling, yoga should be way of life. Yoga Yunjate, by the word yoga, we mean many becoming one. Body, mind, soul becoming one. Asana, pranayama have an immense role in reaching this goal. Today, we'll be listening to Dr. Nagaraja Rao, who practices yoga and teaches us yoga. How one can stay fit and healthy by regular practices of yogasana and pranayama. Added to that if you practice meditation, you get the ultimate joy which is already within us. God realization, self-realization, enjoying the bliss within, whatever we may call. All that can be experienced. That's what our rishis have proclaimed. So let us listen to Dr. Nagaraja Rao and learn more on yoga, how it's going to benefit us to improve our physical health, to improve our mental health, in other words, to reduce the stress, and also to get the joy within. Ananda is the word. So we are very lucky to have such a senior citizen with a lot of achievements, and he himself being a yoga practitioner. We are eagerly waiting to listen from Dr. Nagaraja.
Thank you, Swamiji. And with this beautiful words from Swamiji, over to Mr. Nagaraj Rao to continue your presentation. Mr. Nagaraj Rao, please.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your blessings. And I'm privileged to have you in the lecture, and also the esteemed Dr. Sushil with us. And I beg your pardon if there are any mistakes on my part, either in yoga or in science. You'll have to kindly excuse me. At the same time, give me the correction factor. Thank you so much. My presentation starts after about a couple of minutes. I will share the slides. Before that, I have attended this particular course of CeRIMed for the first course I attended. I was really benefited by the practices suggested, with the blessings of Swamiji on yoga, and the excellent uh, explanation by Dr. Sushil Sharma on science and diet. I'm really benefited. I have been recommending to some of my friends to join this, but perhaps there will be some response for that. I will start sharing my screen.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah.
Your screen is visible.
Yeah. Normally, we start this session on anything on yoga with a prayer. I will do the prayer for a minute. Kindly bear with me. Yogena chittasya patena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram munina patanjalin pranjarilanatosmi abaha purushakaram shankachakrastidaryanam sahasrasirasam svetam Pranamami Patanjali Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Seek your blessing to all of us, all the people on this earth for better health. This is Dr. B.K.S. Iyengar, whose type of yoga I follow. The specialty of Dr. B.K. Iyengar is he has done a lot of R&D on use of props. Okay. I will show you the props also in the next slide. Using those props, you can do most of the asanas, which I will show you how I use the props and then do many of the asanas. Maybe some of the things may not be possible using them, but otherwise you can do it. But with the props, according to Dr. B.K. Iyengar, it adds to the value of the asana. These are the props. This is the chair. This is the chair. This is called the yoga chair. Not an ordinary chair. It has a stable base and this seat. And then you can do at least about 30 or 35 asanas on using the chair, getting over your back pain or many of the ailments using the chair. This is called a bolster, nothing but a cotton pillow, round. Here also, this can be used for taking out your back pain or such other factors. This is the belt, which I have been it has been very useful to me to straighten the knee, and especially for the osteoarthritis and other related ailments. And this is the brick that we use when you are not able to reach the ground in some of the asanas. Dr. B.K. Iyengar says using the brick and the belt and other props adds value. When once you see some of the asanas done, then I will tell you what are the value addition in that. Life. I have just broken this presentation into two parts. The first part is little of science because the great master is there, Sushil Sharma. Maybe only 1% of whatever he says. I have learned it from him also, and a part of it in my own way to appraise the younger generation of the day. The second part is my experience, how I do the asanas using the yoga is not an eternal life, but it is a sensible life. Swamiji expressed this at the beginning itself. Aging in the normal course is adding years to life, but in yoga, it is adding life to years. I never feel that I'm old. I always say, how old are you? I say 84 years young. Why should I say old? That is boosting your morale and feel young by telling that. Patanjali gave about 3 sectors for in the health. One is the physical sector, second is the mental or spiritual sector, third is the social sector, health. Patanjali's Tantra is on the physical health, asanas, etc. Yoga Sutra is on spiritual mental health, Ayurveda, etc. Mahabhashyam is on the social health. My path, how did I get into yoga? I have been a tennis player basically. I have played tennis for nearly 35, 36 years. And I was the All India Civil Services tennis champion for 4 years in the civil services sector. Ignoring the advice or not getting enough advice on yoga, I did not get into yoga at that point of time, though I had heard of it, but I was doing other exercises. I used to run in the morning about 8 to 10 kilometers a day to keep myself fit because I cannot skip off the office at 3 o'clock to play tennis. I used to go only at about 5 o'clock after the office hours, and it was not enough. So I made it up by running. All these added on to the injury on the joints. The first joint that was affected was knee. At the age of my 45, it was diagnosed that I have osteoarthritis and I should be careful. Later on, I did some exercises if it is possible to overcome. And later on, at the age of my 60th year, some advice was given by one of the decent persons. I remember he's no more. His blessings are there on me. He suggested, why don't you go to yoga? I said, I can't sit down. I can't fold my knee. How can I do yoga? He said, no, Dr. B.K. Sengar's yoga is little different, meant for such people only, and you can use the props, and then you can still do yoga in the capacity of your own. Taking for granted whatever he said, I just entered the yoga center in Koramangala, Nirguna Mandir, where under the aegis of Swami Sukhabodhananda, and then there were a few steps to climb. It was a little difficult for me to climb the steps, 5, 6 steps. I took quite some time to climb the steps and then get into the arena. Miracle could happen. 4 years of continuous training. I was in a position to run on the steps, climb the steps, come back. Not only that, I would go back to the tennis court to play. There was a gap actually when I developed some pain. I started playing tennis practice, then they start tournaments, and started participating in the state and national level tournaments. To my surprise, by God's blessings and my parents, I won the national level tennis tournament in 2008, and I was ranked #1 in India under the veterans group. This was a real surprise to me that a person who could not climb 6 steps could run on a hard court. Remember, every tournament is for a week, and every day we have to play singles, doubles. The problem is when you win, you have to play next day. If you lose, you have the rest. But if you win, you have to continue playing. It's about 30 to 40 kilometers of running in every tournament. I could play a lot of tournaments, that too on the hard surface, not in the clay surface, hard surface. Thank God, thank Dr. B.K. Sengar and my guru who taught me asanas. Subsequently, I found that went through the Bible of Dr. B.K. Sengar. Then I found some advice on how to control the other ailments. I developed prostate. I went to the doctor. He gave me the medicine. 15 days I took the medicine. And then he said it has to be a surgery because I had already reached the age of that to remove the prostate. Then I went through the Bible of Dr. B.K. Sengar. Just show you. This is the book I went through. Then there's a solution for most of the ailments in this book. I just started doing that. I did not observe where was the prostate problem. I never went to the doctor again. Till today, blessings of God and blessings of Swamiji, I have been out of the prostate problem even now. I'm not very sure whether it can continue for long. Anyway, it can. Then I developed hernia. I never went to the doctor. I could read hernia. With some asanas, again going back to the Bible, I was in a position to overcome that without medicine. Varicose veins was a history for me, and it did not give me problems because of my exertion and standing, running, and all that. The varicose veins would have developed, but I was in a position to control the varicose veins using yoga, which I will show you, which are the asanas. Sinusitis. This was bothering me every 4th month or 5th month, 3rd month. I used to get cold, cough, fever, and all that. I started using Jalaneti. I will show you that also. Jalaneti. Jalaneti is neti part. I started using it since I think about 7 or 8 years. Blessings of God and blessings of elders. I never went to the doctor with a fever for last 7 or 8 years. I went to the doctor in the meantime only for 3 vaccinations and little of my dental problem. The problem here is if you start cold, then it ends up in fever. So the cold is cut off at the beginning itself and followed by pranayama. I could overcome the sinusitis within no time. Not only me, a lot of people who attend the classes, they complain about sinusitis. I give them the advice and then tell them the procedure. They followed it up and they are happy that they don't know where the cold is gone. Some of the spoils of my career as a civil servant, the governor honoring me here, and this is Krishnan's nephew giving me the prize in Chennai when I won the tournament. And in the International Yoga Day, I have attended at least about 4 or 5 universities for the last 6 years, giving a program on science in yoga. My intention was the youngsters in the university should understand what is science. Why I have put science, I will tell you in the next, when you go to the next slide. And this is, I completed 200 yoga sessions on pranayama and meditation. And I appeal, I go by this Swamiji's blessings for having blessed me with all these things. One more thing is I have my book on yoga. What I felt was when I started doing some asanas, I visited a couple of a few organizations where they were teaching yoga. I found hardly the teachers used to reveal the details of the particular yoga that we are making. Unless we make the people know what they are doing, it will be a mechanical exercise. I felt that I should compile the asanas and then make it a handbook. This is the handbook about which I think somebody will talk. and these are about the asanas. And this again, if you can read it, is not for sale. I'm doing it as a service. I have already shared the PDF file with CeRIMed. Anybody can use it if it is going to benefit them. Every asana has signs and relief for ailment. Here, this contains about 30 commonly taught asanas. How I have done it is a photo at the top, a methodology. Perhaps you will see this is the front page with Dr. B.K.'s Iyengar and Patanjali with their blessings. It has gone further. And this is one page I have indicated. There is about 40 pages. It contains some material on general yoga, about 3-4 pages, and my guru, Madhusa, and some other sayings of the great yogis. This page, here you can see, this is the photo, how the asana can be performed, and this is the details how it should be performed, and these are the benefits if you do it. These are the benefits, and who should not do it is the contraindications. For 30 asanas, 35 asanas are listed like this in the book. Anybody can use it. It will be my pleasure if they use it and get the benefit. I was telling something about the science in yoga. I don't want to talk much in the presence of the great artist, Dr. Sushil Sharma, who is a thorough major as far as the science is concerned and the diet is concerned. My own little small way I have put it. I have taken 3 aspects of yoga, that is the yoga, asanas, pranayama, and meditation. Meditation, all the other things, dhyana, dharana, samadhi, etc. I have taken it as meditation. 3 aspects. I have taken these 3 aspects in comparison with the basic science of physics, chemistry, and biology. This is only to make the people understand quickly and then try to follow. My target is youngsters. So let them at least get convinced that they should start yoga. And if you go by the spiritual way, they will not be convinced. They will say you are age to take the spirituality, but they don't know. If they start yoga, they get into spirituality. Spirituality cannot be taught, but it has to be acquired. So what is the physics of yoga? According to me, it is asanas, bones and muscles and joints. It is the physiodynamics. Maybe it's a slight difference, but bear with me. Make them understand the physics, chemistry, and biology of yoga. What is the chemistry of yoga? It is the brain and the mind and the meditation. And it is psychodynamics. The biology part of it is the pranayama involving the lungs and the heart, and it is biodynamics. If you just analyze the ailments of the human, most of the ailments fall either in any one of those 3 sectors. I'll just give you a small list of ailments, common ailments under each sector. If you take the physics as the base, this is asanas I told you. Arthritis cannot be for the mind's sake. Lumbar spondylitis, sciatica, slip disc, shoulder pain, which I had. In fact, okay, I will tell later about it. The backache, cervical spondylitis. Well, these are some of the ailments I have indicated pertaining to specific reference to bones, muscles, and joints. The next one is, this is the physics. The next one is the pranayama involving the lungs and the heart. Cough and cold cannot be on account of bones, bronchitis, sinusitis, allergy, hypertension, irregular blood flow, etc. on the lungs and the heart. This is the biology part of it. When I say biology, then they will try to understand, oh, this is part of the physics, chemistry, PCM. These are the ailments commonly, some of the ailments, not all. The third one is the meditation or the involving the brain and the mind. Headache cannot be found in the bones. Migraine, vertigo, stress and strain, memory impairment, distress and confusion, stress and strain. Most important factor this is, I have put it as under chemistry. Chemistry is, of course, a distant relationship, but still it will be under chemistry. When I tell these things, physics, chemistry, biology, not mathematics. Mathematics can come along with the physics later, but they will be, oh, there's a lot of PCM in yoga. I tell them, you are breathing every time. You don't know whether you are breathing at all sometimes. Power of breath, your own breath can cure a lot of illness. I have just given 4 common pranayamas and then telling them something about the basic science of that. Sarala pranayama is deep breathing with kumbhaka, with holding the breath, elongating the inhale, exhale, so that the oxygenation of the blood will happen automatically. With the result, the plaques and other things are avoided in the vessel, in the channel, and this can be the operation can be avoided by just breathing. They are surprised. Is it so? Then they ask me a question: what is the type and all that, to make them take interest in this issue. Second is the Brahmari. When I explain Brahmari, you produce nitric oxide in the body, also in the nostril, but Brahmari increases the nitric oxide 15 times more, according to the scientific papers I have collected. And nitric oxide inhibits the growth of the virus and the bacteria. So the nostrils have a safe part of, it's called firewall, and it creates a vibration because of the sound, and also the vagus nerve, which is the most very effective cranial nerve, which controls the entire body operations. The third one, which is very scientific, is Anulom Vilom, alternate nostril breathing. It balances the mind, bringing the left and the right hemispheres together, so that the emotions of the body are brought down. You will not become very angry very fast, and also the functions of the organs will improve. The fourth one, which is very common, is Kapalabhati, a process of fast breathing. It massages the abdominal organ. It avoids indigestion, so many other things. But the blood flow will continue in the normal course. All these would be to restrain the mind from mind wandering. Mind wandering happens 60,000 thoughts in a day for a person, and he has to manage it, and many of them are little negative. Is there any disturbance in the speaking? I mean, is it okay? There was a power cut, but there is a backup. This one of the I was thrilled to share this in the Anulom Vilom, the alternate nostril breathing, the sympathetic and this parasympathetic nervous system, which doctor has been very clearly enumerated in his presentation. When once we start doing the pranayama, then the parasympathetic nervous system becomes a little more active, nulling the ill effects of the aggressive nature of the mind. This is just to explain to them, make them agree that all the chakras, the concentrated tissues in the body, which are on par with medical parlance as glands to some extent, are activated, so that all the activities of the different parts of the body continue to work normally. That's all about the technical part of it. Now I go to my experience in yoga and doing it. As I told you, the osteoarthritis is one of the things that I got it little early at the age of 45. Even today, I don't take a pill. Thanks for the blessings of the God and Swamiji and my parents. And while doing Trikonasana is one of the important asanas to overcome the knee problem because the knees are kept straight. This is the normal Trikonasana. I use the wall and the brick. You can see the brick here. The the front part of the foot is put on the brick, and then when I do using the support of the wall, when in the open case, without using, the hand will move to some extent, not beyond. Here you can move, crawl the hand behind to increase the stretch and the twist. This is the way in which the brick is used. This is for the osteoarthritis. There are a few more. In fact, I remember a small joke which I keep on repeating. Two doctors will be making a presentation on birth control. Is a joke. I should not be mistaken. Both the doctors, a youngster and a middle-aged person, on birth control. Each one of them give half an hour lecture on birth control. After they finish, one of these persons in the audience jumps up to the platform and says, Dr. One, how many children you have? He was a youngster. He smiled and said, no. Dr. B, how many children you have? He's little middle-aged. He said, he's also smiled and said, I have two. Why are you asking that? He looks at the audience and says, both the doctors are unfit to speak on birth control because Dr. A has no birth, Dr. B has no control. That is, you personify yourself while talking to the persons. First of all, you should look into the audience. And again, I repeat, this is my experience from the book of asanas, whichever book that we refer. I do it and then get the benefit and then explain, share the knowledge with the people. A knowledge which is, if it is not shared, it is no knowledge at all. The next one is Virabhadrasana. Virabhadrasana normally is done standing and then doing like this. I use the chair. See this. I will not have balance when I stay like this after certain age. Excuse me. You will not be having the same balance as a youngster. So you need a support. You need a stick to walk. I don't use the stick to walk, thank God. But while performing the asanas, I should use something like this. That is the chair. You keep your hands on the rim of the chair. I showed you the chair. Only there is, don't hold the chair and then keep stand at a distance, put your right leg and then bend it. What happens? Here, the lower back gets trimmed, aligned, corrected, in addition to the knee, strengthening the knee and the calf muscle. Normally, in this case, the knee and the calf muscles get strained. Here, there will be additional training with a support. We can do it even without that, but you are taking a risk by doing that. The same Virabhadrasana is done using the wall. You can see I both the hands on the wall and then bending the knee. It can be done otherwise also. What I have observed, and I have been successful in telling others, is this one not only trains the calf muscle and the knee, but also the lower back, like L4, L5, and S1. Whereas here, if you do it, it trains the slightly upper L2, L3, L4. And this I have tried, felt myself, and advised a couple of people in my apartment who are about to go for a surgery. They are now running, fast walking after 3 years or 4 years in my own apartment. This is Purvottanasana, again to strengthen the knee using the chair, because otherwise it will be rather difficult for you to bend. I told you something about the belt. The belt is used like this. You lie down and put the belt straight. You can see the bent knee. Because of the osteoarthritis, the knee cannot be straight. If I had started at when the OA was revealed, I could have done better. I had no regrets at all. Much better I'm feeling now. With the belt, I train the back of the knee with the belt. Pull the belt, make it straight, and then the back of the knee gets fully trained for the purpose. Now, after this, what I do is I take the belt to the right leg and move it to the right, bend it to the right with the right hand. The whole system of the knee and the OA are getting corrected with this, and the entire all the muscular points are strengthened with this. This is taking the leg on the left side. Now the hip gets improvement over this particular asana. This is just for information of the persons. OA could be a knocking knee or a bow knee. This is my case. This is the normal. So what we do here is we use the belt to slightly correct to some extent. How we do it is, this is how it is done. 3 or 4 belts are tied up. Of course, the danger here is you should always use a good in between so that you don't break the bone. Slowly tighten to the extent that is required and to the extent that you can bear. If there is a slight pain, you can release it. And I stay in this posture for, in fact, I stayed. When I was trained, I stayed. This was done 2 days or 3 days a week for half an hour, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I had to be in this posture for correction. Miracle. When I could not climb the steps in this status, by doing this, I don't say I have come back to the status, but there's an improvement. And then I was able to reach the heights. Varicose veins. I do Viparita Karani. It's called Viparita Karani and Sarvangasana. Again here, the Sarvangasana is used using the chair. I use the bolster and the chair. Regarding the bolster, there are a couple of asanas which I show you later. This is the chair Sarvangasana, which you can take the legs up, similar to this, and Setu Bandhasana using the chair. By doing these, the entire back gets enough exercise for correction. At the same time, the blood flow from the foot to the body increases, which is the main lacunae and for causing the varicose veins. For hernia and prostate, the same Sarvangasana with Upavishta Konasana, opening both the legs, it trains up the lower abdomen where the hernia could be found or the prostate is there. They get the exercise and lot of breathing, pranayama, oxygenated blood goes to that and then corrects. What is an ailment? God has, while putting us on the earth, He did not say that you're going to suffer from this. We acquired it. Well, all these are meant to go back to what God has given us. That's all. The correction of what we have wrongly accrued is all these trials of pranayama, asana, etc. Now, you must have seen a shavasana as a normal course. We do this chair shavasana. The science behind this, the science behind this is that while Sarvangasana allows blood to flow fast on the gravitational force is faster. Here it is slowed down. By doing this, the blood still flows to the body and the head. The head has to get at least 30-35% of blood that you have. Normally, it is lacking there. That's why we get into psycho ailments later on at our later age. We should always keep the flow of blood to the head by doing some asanas, some exercises. Here, what happens is, at the same time, the heart also gets a temporary relief. It doesn't stop. If it stops, you're no longer existing. It doesn't stop, but it temporarily gets relief because with less strain on the heart, the blood starts flowing to the body and the head. So this is a temporary relief to the heart and the heart muscles, so they become active after some time. Now about the bolsters. I showed you the round bolster. I will show you this. You put the bolster
lying down like this. This entire thing opens up. Throat, thyroid, and this muscle. There's a muscle here from here up to this. That muscle gets exercised. Thereby, you'll be avoiding the double chin.
The entire backbone gets trained with the bolster here. Every morning when I get up, you would have observed that with 35-40 years of running, playing tennis, I would have jammed a lot of joints. Even now, no regrets because my yoga keeps me okay. And no pain, no pill. That's all. What else do you require at this age? You can't go back to 25 by any chance, but at the same time, see that everything is normal and functional. That is important. So this bolster puts, once you lie down on the bolster with the back of the bolster, the entire backbone gets trained. Here I will explain. Now the head is down. This is Setu Bandhasana with the bolster underneath. Now this is a full stretch. Here you can see the bolster is kept across, not long, across. When you want to train up the lower part of it, you are sitting in such a way that the lower part gets trained. When you do this, the entire vertebral column gets trained. And by God's grace, I don't have any back pain or whatsoever, despite so much of stressful activity for nearly 40 years. Now, this is another important thing. Here you can see this part of the body and this part of the body are pushed down. Thereby, the lower joint, the vulnerable joint of L5 and S1 get little stretched with the bolster support, which you could not do without a bolster. It will only a stretch. Here what happens, it pushes up and then stretches. So that is the additional advantage of using the props. And then I have been able to overcome many of these things by using the bolster. I was telling you about the sinusitis. Jalaneti is one of the aspects of yoga. Here, there are 4 sacs, nasal sacs, which produce, as I said, nitric oxide in the normal course. And with Brahmari, the nitric oxide production increases 15 times more, according to the scientific papers. And Jalaneti is warm water, lukewarm water, with little of salt and a pinch of turmeric, excuse me, which you pour into this right nostril by bending your head. And the most important thing is keeping the mouth open, because you have to breathe through the mouth. Excuse me. Sorry. And this is the neti part that we use, a plastic one. By doing this from the right side to the left, without any strain from you, it comes out as the other side, and you repeat from the other side to the right side. This cleans up the entire channel of entry of oxygen. Other than that, the ill effects of virus or the bacteria creating sinusitis, rhinitis, etc., will come down. Added to this alone will not be enough. This helps in pranayama because you can take more of oxygen into the lungs, and this coupled with pranayama keeps the sinusitis away. I'm not talking of theory. At least about out of 40 people who joined the session, at least 15-20 people who are having the problem of cold and fever have come out with that particular thing just because of Jaraneti. The caution is that the first time it should be done in the presence of a guide. Otherwise, what happens? There is a process of doing it. You have to keep at half Uttanasana, bend, and then tilt it. Keep the mouth open without using the second hand, only one hand to be used. That is the guide will be able to do it. Otherwise, you will feel the water is going to lungs, head, and all that thing. It comes out of the mouth. About the meditation part of it, I have a slight variation in the meditation. My idea is to take the people, make the people feel and get into their inner mind by normal breathing and coupled with Omkara. Breathing and Omkara stills your mind. Breathing itself stills your mind because you are putting your mind on the breath. Here, I remember one of the slogans of Dr. B.K. Iyengar: mind is the king of senses, breath is the king of the mind, rhythmic breathing in pranayama is the king of the breath. He says pranayama, a rhythm in breathing pranayama, keeps your senses up. So mind is the king of senses, breath is the king of the mind, and rhythmic breathing in pranayama is the king of the breath. That is the slogan of Dr. B.K. Iyengar. So breathing and Omkara, slowly I take them to the inner mind, and the mind gets settled effortlessly into silence without much problem, and the self-healing and personal growth automatically takes place during that particular time. I have designed a few meditation processes. One is called the disease consciousness. Everybody feel conscious. We will be very conscious about the disease. I am having diabetes. I am having blood pressure. So take that particular portion out of your mind, make you less conscious. That is disease consciousness. I take them to this particular silence mode and then erase using the divine light, asking them to write on the board what is their ailment and erasing it. Shwasa Mohini, it is nothing but a breathing technique coupled with meditation. The mind flow meditation, I will show you the slide. Next slide, I will show you what is meant by mind flow meditation. Divine light meditation, you invite the divine light of the God into your mind, into your body through Agna Chakra, and the whole body is lit with the golden light. And the next one is sunrise meditation. I take them to a beach, observe the sunrise, and the sun rays in the morning get into your Agna Chakra and light the entire body, rejuvenate the glands and the body. At the same time, they experience ozone in the beach. Bloodstream meditation is bloodstream is from the heart to the body. So in this process, I tell them that you go back to the heart, inhale, fill up the blood in the heart, and direct it to different parts, different organs of the body in the meditation. Once to the brain, once to the heart, lungs, once to the legs and all that. So they feel the warmth of the body after the meditation. Yoga Nidra, many people know, it is scanning the body. It is sleep awake. You are sleeping, but you are awake, yoga nidra, and you can scan the body yourself and then improve the functioning of the organs. I was telling about the body and emotions. I went through one of the documents where the organs of the body are connected with the emotions. It may be available elsewhere. So I have found that lung is connected with the stress and anxiety, the heart with the stress again, the arteries, blocking of the arteries, lack of oxygenated blood creates blocking of the arteries, and the spleen is connected with the trauma, the kidney is connected with the fear, liver with anger, and abdomen with worry. What I do is I show them where the organs are there in another slide and tell them that this is related to this and concentrate on that with inhale, and while exhaling, for example, when they concentrate on lung, with inhale, they inhale with putting their mind on the lung, while exhaling, they take away the stress and anxiety. Again, the mind works here. The complete stress is taken out of the mind of the persons when they go through this particular meditation. This is my creation. Maybe I don't know how far I am right. I have compared again to make the people understand my target is youngsters and the industrialists. They have, do you know what factory is? It needs a place. The human body is the place, location, and the raw materials are oxygen and blood. You require a machinery to process. Lungs are the machinery. You require energy to process the raw materials. Glands will give you energy, enough energy. The process is called the pranayama, using the raw materials of oxygen and blood. Today in the digital world, you require a processor also. Alveoli. Alveoli are the small 700 million alveoli in both the lungs together. These are the ones which take the oxygen into the body, pull out the carbon dioxide out of the body with exhale. So this is the processor, and with all these combinations combined together, then what you get as a result is the good blood and immunity. And no intelligent industrialist will keep the product in stock. He has to recycle the money. So he disposes of. Asanas are the distributing systems for this particular product of blood and immunity. You can imagine here the oxygen and blood and the pranayama is involved. Here the meditation is involved, and here the asanas distributing this particular blood throughout the body. Like any other factory, there's a debris, the toxins. I have put it as urine, bowels, and sweat. Could be many more. This is a concept of mine to make the people understand much better on the three aspects of my lifestyle. Dr. Sushil Sharma, I remember every time whenever somebody speaks lifestyle, he concentrates on lifestyle. Lifestyle is very important to keep yourself happy and healthy. I go to bed at 11 o'clock and get up at 5 o'clock without a disturbance, without getting up even for a toilet. That is the health. I take lemon and honey with wheatgrass juice in the morning and no coffee or tea. Immediately switch over to the pranayama, deep breathing pranayama, and whatever I said I do for 40 minutes. I switch over to asanas using the props for another 40 minutes. Then after the breakfast, I switch over to my routine work. I am the president of the Bangalore Apartment Federation. There will be 1 or 2 hours of work of that. Today morning we had a couple of meetings, and then I have the slogan, eat to live. Don't live to eat. Dr. Sushil also says the same thing. eat just to live, whatever that is required. Indians are known for little overeating, so restrict yourself that eat to live, not live to eat. With a positive approach, your stress level will definitely come down. While doing the meditation, after the meditation, if you ask any one of the participants, the stress level is completely out of the mind. And when the stress is out, when the feeling on the ailment is less, then the ailment normally slowly comes down. Some of them have reported that they have reduced the quantum of medicine after a year. That is my PhD, that's my MSc, that's my additional qualification. I'm not enamored of the adding on any of the qualifications, but I take pleasure, I get pleasure if somebody says, for example, the back pain I said in my apartment, when they started walking, fast walking, and telling me that they are not taking any pill, I'm delighted to meet them, and I seek blessings of God at that point of time. And I do little of social service. How many of us thank the Almighty while going to bed? We seek the blessings of Almighty. We go to the temple. Give me this, give me that, give me that, give me that. Or we seek asking all selfish these things. And we blame God for not giving them immediately. But we ignore whatever God has given without you asking. You have been given a life. You have been given a family, children, wife, husband, whatever it is. All this you did not ask, He Himself gave. But you blame the God for not giving you a car, for not giving you a house, for not giving you so X, Y, Z. So every day I thank the Almighty for having made me live for that day, and especially the heart, because every organ, even if it doesn't work for a day, it can be repaired, it can be put back. Whereas the heart, even if it stops for 2 minutes, you are out. So I thank the heart for the incessant support that the heart is giving me throughout my life by giving enough blood to all the parts of the body. Never win people with arguments, but defeat them with a smile is the positive approach. If you start arguments, you become angry because you want to put your points further, but defeat them with a smile. Abdul Kalam was asked a question by a student. Dr. Kalam, which is the most difficult and most easy in your life you felt in your experience? You know what is that? It is easy to judge when others do it. It is difficult to assess when we do it. So this is and Mother Teresa also has said that I thought prayers would improve my environment. But later on, she came back and said that prayer does not improve my environment. Prayer improves me, and I improve the environment. So that is the way in which, you have to think of. You can't expect others to do it. You have to do it yourself. Happiness. Everybody wants happiness. 7 steps of happiness. Fear less, love more, complain less, appreciate more, watch less, do more, judge less, accept more, talk less, listen more, frown less, smile more, think less, feel more. And all these, when Buddha was under meditation, a disciple went and asked, I want happiness. He said, write down on the floor, I want happiness. After meditation, he opened his eyes and said, what is I? I is ego. Take it out. What is want? Want is desire. Take it out. What is left? If you don't have ego and if you don't have desires, self-contented, whatever God has given, I'm contented. If you have self-contented and if you do not have the desire to wanting more, that is the happiness. Explore, experiment, experience, enjoy good health, emerge as a positive human, and also as an efficient citizen. There I end my talk. Thanks for the patient hearing, and I leave it to the organizers for the Q&A.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nagaraja Rao, for making such engrossing pictorial presentation and experience sharing. Surely it will benefit many who are going through the struggle and finding what to do, what not to do. It will be a good experience. And thank you for making it so lucid, such a complex subject. There will be a few questions, but before I have one specific query to ask you is like everybody talks about joint pain, and for that asanas is a very common thing. But along with that, did you try any kind of massage? Because massage also helps to get rid of the pain.
I never tried massage, sir. I don't believe in massage. Number two, I did not go to the gym, nor any massage. Without that, I've been able to do it.
Excellent. So you're focused on the asanas, and that gives itself is your whatever you're prayed for or whatever you wanted. But how long it took to see the outcome? I mean, suppose you started doing today.
4 years.
Took
So I said it was difficult for me to get into the steps. But the
Right.
first day, 3 years continuously, you saw the belt. My master did not bother, did not say anything. No, you have to do this. For 2 years continuously, I was in a position to climb up the steps, climb down. Third year, I started going to the tennis. Fourth year, I was on tennis court in tournaments. It took 3 to 4 years for me to come back to that stage I'm talking. If it is just getting out of the pain, it takes only 1 year.
Okay, but still 1 year is for the modern age. Anybody to try to do it is a long time. That
Yes.
patience and perseverance, which
Yes.
you showed, and that's what's required for
Yes.
doing it, and then only you can really believe that this is possible. So that's an
Correct.
excellent
And
experience.
you need the blessings of Swamiji and God and your parents also.
Sure. Then there are a few questions. Obviously, I will try to see them in the chat box. There is one question I saw that may you have the presentation, please. So yes, the presentations, actually the whole recording will be available on our YouTube. So you can see on the CeRIMed channel of the YouTube, all those things are there. Even the question and answer sessions, those pictures, what you saw, everything will be available. And also, I like to put it that the book he has written for the public service, that will available on our website. You can download from there for anybody to refer to for your own use.
There is one question, Subrata. You never took any medicine. You could manage all your health issues by yoga. Is not correct. To start with, before I went to yoga, I used to take medicine. While playing tennis, I used to take electrol to rejuvenate, and also maybe here and there painkiller, because it used to be there. But one factor I say is that I used to run on the tennis court. My joints were aching, but my heart and lungs used to say, go ahead, do it, because of the pranayama. That was the support given by the heart and the lungs. And despite some retardedness in the joints and the muscles in this one, that's how I was able to do it. And in Pune, I played the final of the nationals. And after that, I stayed over for a day, took the blessings of Guruji when he was alive. He knew me, and then he knew, how is your knee? He used to say, whenever I meet him, my God, the blessings he gave me was excellent. I went and told Guruji, I won the nationals today. Please bless me. I have come only to get blessings from you. Immediately he got up from the seat and then put his arm around my shoulder, brought me to the class where he was teaching yoga. His son was teaching yoga, and said, look, this man, he didn't say young man, this man, I was 72, 72 at that time. This man with a broken knee had become a national champion. So then I told Guruji, yesterday they gave me some purse and all that, a cup and all that. Those are nothing before in front of what you said just now. These are the blessings. So the pills did take earlier, not for any other thing. Of course, I used to get fever. All those things were there earlier. But after starting yoga, because I told you, Jalaneti, I never took any medicine and I have not seen antibiotics at all for last 7-8 years. I hope I'll continue to do it with the blessings of so many.
Okay, thank you for a very clear answer, and surely it is a great example and motivation for anybody to practice it and see the experience. There is a question coming here. What is your diet, eating time? You can clarify that.
My diet is strange because I depend on some caterer to give me the food. We don't prepare food at home. So I have a lot of limitations as far as that's concerned. My diet is only vegetarian, lot of vegetables, 2-3 spoons of rice only, little of curds, and morning breakfast, whatever the general breakfast is there, I take that. But I suggest everybody that in addition to whatever Social G advises, putting all these things together, reduce your eat by 20%. That's my diet.
Okay. And the eating time? You have any specific time for eating?
9 to 9:15 is breakfast.
Yes.
Bring it to the news. Then 1:30 to 2 is my light lunch. Then 5 o'clock I take little of fruits and the tender coconut. And 8:30 is my light dinner. Of course, I take plantain both in the morning and in the afternoon. That's
Okay. Excellent. So it's a very clear practice and the way you have done it and showing the results. So people should get encouraged and try to see how it helped them. I'll request now Dr. Sushil Sharma, if he's available, to make a few comments, and if you have seen the book, what Mr. Nagaraja Rao has written, any comment can you make? Dr. Sushil Sharma, are you there? Just checking.
1 second, sir. I'm just checking.
Okay. We'll find out whether he's still there or not. He said he'll join for some time, and he has seen your book. Obviously, you are one of the earlier participant of IWSP, where he talked about all the 4 pillars of the wellness, and you are a living example of many of them. So we'd like to hear from Dr. Sushil Sharma if you have anything to say at this stage. I don't see any specific questions on this chat box. However, if you have anything to ask at this stage, you can always type in and we can really inquire with the speaker. And how do you, I mean, it's a very difficult to see a person's, you don't sleep in the afternoon time. That's one.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. I do take a 1 hour nap in the afternoon because it is about 6 hours in the night.
Right.
And 1 hour in the afternoon. I do take regularly, but while in service, I was not doing it. But after retirement, I did because I have time to sleep. So I do.
That's true. I mean, even with the 1 hour sleep, I find it very, very difficult that you mentioned when you sleep at night, you don't go to the toilet, because that's the biggest thing at the age. As you age, you happen to go to the toilet at least once or twice.
Yes.
So that shows your discipline.
God's blessings, I don't get up in the night.
Okay. Very good.
Subradada,
Yeah.
Dr. Sushil is just joining. He is with Swamiji only, and he just
Okay.
asked a couple of minutes, and he'll be
Okay.
there.
In
So,
between, Anirban, you have any comments to make? Because you are
I mean,
also.
I've been a great fan of Nagaraja Rao sir, and
Mhm.
I've been following up with him. I mean, we have multiple relationships, and beyond that, I mean, he has been a great inspiration in terms of what I can see myself, perhaps 30, 35 years down the line. And I personally feel that if I follow, and he's a hope for many of the people from his erstwhile generation. If you call us your next generation, then perhaps we are the people who have hopes that we will be perhaps able to live your life. And I know it is very tough, it is very disciplined, and I think we are nowhere close to that. But with blessings from Swamiji, Dr. Sushil, Subradada, all of you, I think we are doing a fantastic job in terms of bringing in people in what they can do with their lives, and how can they make it more fruitful through our program Integrated Wellness, and through the sessions what Nagaraja Rao sir takes. I think we can do a lot to our own self, so that we can become much more productive and much more efficient. So this is the learning which I have maximum from Nagaraja Rao sir. And as I said, my association with him when he was the president of BAF, there'll be a lot of learnings. I started interacting with him a lot, and I think COVID years were pretty good time when I personally also met him in spite of all the challenges. So it has been a good journey with him till now, and I'm sure we'll have lot many more number of fruitful years with him going forward.
Just
Yes.
5 minutes more, I'll just share my experience. Without
Yes.
my knowledge, something also has happened. In the sense, there is a small boy of 11 years in Banshankari, in one of my friend's place. He is mentally slightly not okay. When I went to him, he ran away from me. That's the usual this one. And mother asked me, "Can anything be done?" I said, "I don't have any experience in this regard, but let me pray and then find out." Fortunately for me, there was a yoga instructor next, his neighbor, whom I knew. She's a lady, very good yoga instructor. And I requested her, "Can you take over a bit of this one?" She said, "Yes." Only some asanas, simple asanas. It's about 3 years now, 2.5 years. Now he has started pranayama. The improvement I found, of course, periodically I used to visit and then give some guidance and discuss with him. Now that boy offers me a cup of coffee when I go. He used to run away. He sings classical songs, slokas, and plays badminton now. I never knew that God's blessings is so much on me. Through me, something is happening. The other one was in my own apartment, a person of 65, 70 years with, of course, the background of diabetes came to me and said, "Sir, I don't have one eye. The second eye retina is operated. Can you do something?" He saw me doing asanas in the uh, clubhouse and then came to me. I said, "My God, I don't know anything about the eye. How can I be of some help to you?" I came back home, prayed, "Lord Raghavendra, you have given eyes to so many people. Give him the eyes, man, make me a stream of your blessings." It did happen. I first concentrated on the Vipreet Karni using the chairs and pranayama. 6 months, he was in a position to see, which he could not see beyond 2 feet. Now he's going to 10 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet. The vision. There was a small, development in his nose, which the ENT specialist had told him that it should be removed through surgery. And after 6 months, just 6 months continuously, he went to the ENT specialist. He was asking, "What happened to your that development? What, there was something in the nose. What happened to that? Where did you go? He said, no, sir, I don't know anything. It has vanished. And when he went to the ophthalmologist, his doctor, he was not able to, earlier he was not able to read the 4th line. He read the 5th line. It is not my effort. Blessings of God. And I was the agent to do it. I did it. And little of meditation, bringing him down to on the Shavasana and telling him your nervous connectivity between the eye and the brain is improving. Every day I went on doing that. And 6 months, he is now in a position to see it. I mean, these are not, for example, somebody comes with a back pain, I know what is to be done. People of this type, if they come, I don't know. But still, that is my experience. I just wanted to share.
Yes, that's very unique. I think whatever you call as agent or whatever, the blessings from the Almighty is always there, and you are the living example. And thank you for this wonderful experience sharing. That itself, people felt so nice to stick around. Almost more than 60-70 people are there live today. And for everybody's informations, we are keeping this whole recording available on the YouTube. Tomorrow morning we'll give you the exact link, but tomorrow it will be there. You can share yourself with, you can watch yourself, or you can share it all with your contacts to see what is the real experience and the performance Mr. Nagaraj Rao got over the years. Even at this age, he could endure to speak more than an hour and interact with us. That shows how fit he is. And instead of taking any help, and he managed to do not only presentations, that's to online. And that's amazing. I really salute you for doing this excellent performance. And we are really feel very blessed to be here from you and get encouragement and motivations. So
there's a small question in the chat. Just
yes.
I was saying, my father's cervical spine got operated in C3 10 years back. Now also he can be able to walk slowly with the help of stick. Can he recover and walk slowly if he practices the said asanas? Kindly suggest. Definitely, sir. Using the bolster, not the chair. When there is already a damage, you should use the bolster, not the chair. Using the bolster, you can realign a bit to some extent, whatever that has happened, and you can get in touch with me one-to-one if you can. I will definitely suggest some improvement.
Sure, sir.
Okay, I think we came almost end of that our limited time. And Anirban, is there any update from Dr. Sharma?
I think he's outside. He could not reach his base, so
Sure.
he messaged me
Okay.
just now. So I think
Yes, we can close that
connect
case.
with him. And thank you very much, Nagaraja Rao sir, and thanks for your time and effort. And I think there are a lot of people who are asking for your book. So I think we'll be sharing it on our website so that they can download it, as you have made for everybody, and we all should benefit. So thank you very much once again, sir. And you'll continue to be an inspiration for us, and look forward to catch up with you very soon. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Blessings of Swamiji, good wishes of Social Sharma, and
Yes.
my parents and God. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we'll close the session and look forward for our next talk on CeRIMed. Thank you very much for all the listeners joined in.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We'll close the session now.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.